Did you ever think the market's just not big enough for my idea? I'm not ready to move forward to patent it yet. Hey everybody, I'm JD Houvener, owner, founder, and patent attorney here at Bold Patents Law Firm. And this is an awesome question. You're pausing to ask, what is the market big enough? And I'm not going to dismiss that totally. Some market research is important. And you've got to make sure you get into that, have a conviction that this is going to sell before you go spend a bunch of money, invest in research, hiring a patent attorney to file your patent. But you can understand that it isn't everyone you're trying to sell your product to, right? The best marketing companies and individuals, consultants will tell you the road to riches, that's right, it's in niches. So finding the niche, the exact type, demographic of client, potential customer that you want to serve, that is cool. And you don't have to serve everyone, right? In this way, you serve the right customer. And all of a sudden, it can be really big enough to warrant moving forward with an investment in patents. So it's shifting your perspective. You don't need 1 million customers. You just need the right ones. Some of the most successful patents in history started out really tiny, the market size very small, and then they developed other products, other solutions that expanded to address a more broad market. So let's talk real world proof. Number one, OXO, the OXO kitchen brand. You probably have at least 10 of these somewhere in your kitchen cabinet. They're good grips. The good grips product, they didn't try to dominate every kitchen tool category. So they started with one product, a potato peeler designed for people with arthritis. And what do you think about when you think about good grips, OXO? A larger grip, right? More ergonomic grip. So their patent on the ergonomic handle became the foundation of course, tons, probably thousands of different SKUs in the kitchen empire. Number two, Camelback hydration system. If you've ever heard of these, they go on your back, like when you're hiking or on a trip, camping, and you tote around your water or whatever hydration you're using, or when you're cycling. So that's how it actually began. It's not, every camper, every hiker, which is where they are now, really broad. They started out specifically with cyclists and endurance athletes. So addressing that really small niche market, small audience, that's what they were focused on. And they said, hey, that's a way for us to design our product, make sure it's perfect for that niche. And that's how they got started. So the patent's hand-free hydration system turned into tons of contracts with military, firefighters, hikers, and adventure racers like it is today. The third example is the Retainer Bright. This is a dental cleaning tablet. I actually hadn't heard of this before I did research. They originally invented it for orthodontic retainers, a really narrow niche for those specific type of retainers, not just all retainers, not Invisalign, but for orthodontic specific retainers. I guess that would include Invisalign. The protected formula opened licensing deals with dentists and orthodontic distributors worldwide. So each of these products, they started out with a very small market, built their product to solve a problem for those people, those companies, and that's how they do it. So you don't need to have a giant market to justify moving forward with your patent. You just need an addressable market, know who you're going after, and do the research. So think big, make your plan, and go big, go bold.